What if I told you that September brought a big jump in the number of new homes listed for sale? Because that's exactly what happened in the Twin Cities market last month, and it's giving both buyers and sellers something to think about as we move into fall. I'm J Trout Lowen. I'm a Minneapolis realtor and a bit of a stats nerd. Each month, I crunch the numbers in the 7-county Twin Cities metro, tracking the trends that matter most so you can make confident, informed decisions whether you're buying, selling, or just keeping an eye on the local real estate market. So if you find my update helpful, I hope that you'll hit that subscribe button and tap that bell so you never miss what's happening in the local real estate market. Now, a quick overview. The Twin Cities housing market showed signs of kind of slowing momentum as it does in fall, but growing balance in September. Compared to August, new listings rose again, while pending and closed sales dipped slightly. Year over year, we're seeing the total inventory of homes for sale grow, but prices are remaining surprisingly resilient. So let's take a more detailed look in the breakdown. September saw a modest increase in new listings compared with August, as more sellers chose to list their homes after Labor Day. Now that's a normal seasonal pattern. We get a bump up in the fall, but this year it was stronger than usual. Compared to September 2024, new listings were up by almost 6%, signaling improved seller confidence as mortgage rates kind of settled in that under 6.5% range, which is about a half a point down since June. When we look at new listings by price bracket though, we see a little bit of a different picture. As I've talked about in previous months, the biggest growth in new listings came in the $500,000 to $800,000 price bracket, which was up by 16.8%, and in the over $800,000 price bracket, which grew by more than 15% year over year. New listings priced between $300,000 and $500,000 grew at a much more modest pace, about 2.8%, and the number of new listings under $300,000 actually fell by almost 2%. So one of the reasons for that actually might be that home prices just continue to rise, and there are fewer and fewer homes coming to market that are really going to be under that $300,000 price range. When we look at the total inventory of homes for sale in the 7-county metro, inventory grew slightly from August to September, but inventory overall was down about 2% compared to September of last year. An inventory of homes for sale in that move-up buyer price bracket, that $300,000 to $500,000 range, was down about 7% compared to last September, which is a pretty good jump. Now, I saw that shrinkage again when I looked at the total months of supply, which sat at 2.6 months in September, and that's compared to 2.8 months last September. Now, that's not really a big change, but it is interesting to note that the Twin Cities housing market remains a fairly strong seller's market, even though metros around the country are seeing their market shift to more of a balanced market, or even quite a few are tipping into seller's markets. We're still not seeing that here. And I can see that again when I look at the number of days property is on the market. The median number of days from listing to pending in September was 22, which is just about the same as it was last year and really about the same as it was in August. So let's talk about prices a little bit. The median sale price edged up slightly from August, where it was $390,000 to $392,000. Home prices have been steadily rising throughout this year, driven in part by tight inventory. And although I've seen quite a few price reductions, which is not that unusual for a fall market, most sellers in the metro are still getting between 98 and 100% of their asking price. When we look at the average home price, it came in at $472,800, which is just a tiny increase month over month, but up almost 4% compared to September of last year. So again, those prices are kind of steadily increasing. It's a sign that while the pace of price appreciation has slowed, the market remains fundamentally solid and still in seller territory. So talk a quick look at pending sales and closed sales. Both pending sales and closed sales kind of dropped down in September. Again, we're seeing the tail end of that seller market in the summer, so things are quieting down a little bit. But buyers are still out there. I want to tell you, I went out to some open houses on Sunday in South Minneapolis just to kind of check out the traffic and see what was going on, and they were busy. They were crowded. I was kind of surprised, especially since it was a Sunday afternoon. Now the Vikings weren't playing, so there's that, and it was a beautiful day. But still, there is quite a bit of buyer activity out there. Just again, remember, those sellers who put their houses on the market in September are probably a lot of them also buyers. So what's the big picture here? So the number of new homes listed for sale was up both month to month and year over year, indicating pretty strong seller confidence. The total inventory of homes in the metro has been steadily growing, but it is still below what it was last year at this time, which tells me buyers are out there snapping up some of the best deals. Now, if you'd like to see what your home could sell for in today's market, or get a sense of how much buying power you might have right now, please hit me up. Email me, text me, give me a call, or you can use the QR code in the comments to request a free, no obligation market valuation. I'm really happy to do those. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next month for my October market report.